Hey, what's up guys? Kieshadilla here, and today I wanted to talk about how Forerunner design in Halo games directly impacts gameplay, and how art doesn't just have to be art. So let's get to it. Linearity in first-person shooter campaigns is sort of a guarantee for the genre. With the top games following this design, it's jarring and appreciated when a game breaks out of that cliche, making an area where it's a giant battlefield with flat land or multiple paths and height advantages. It's a breath of fresh air. When the player is constantly going through hallways or up streets or things like that, it gets repetitive. It eventually lacks the ability to make you really feel like you're there, trying to take advantage of the terrain of the area. It breaks the fourth wall and reminds you that you are playing a video game. However, a game that does this pretty well is the Halo series, ever since 2001 with the release of Halo Combat Evolved.
Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yank me.
The series has had campaign structure that provided what its counterparts and eventual main competitor, Call of Duty, didn't. Beginning with the first level, Pillar of Autumn is filled with narrow corridors and small barricades to introduce the player to the game. By funneling the action to be mainly in front of the player, it gives the player time to take in how the game plays, the environment, and the world itself. And to top that, it's balanced with a purposefully confusing layout. I mean, not only is it meant to instill anxiety and rush the player, but it introduces the player how to cover ground, how to remember where you've been and where you haven't. This will serve a direct purpose in the second mission, Halo. You start out the level in a tight escape pod only to enter into the real world, Halo. Frank O'Connor, the franchise director, calls this moment the Bumblebee moment, where it feels like you started out going through the confusing layout of a beehive in level 1, only to finally come out and see what awaited you outside. A direct counter to what you just played. Not only does that help you make you feel like you're part of this world, but you start off hiding from Covenant air vehicles. You can engage, but you're advised to avoid conflict. This is starting to go off from linearity, but you get my point. The second mission immediately uses what the player learned in level 1 by having to scout an open area with branched off parts to rescue Marines that have landed. The first times I played through the mission, I remember getting lost because I wasn't charting out the area in my head. The player needs to explore one branch, complete the objective there, leave, go into another branch, etc. until all Marines are rescued. The area is massive. The terrain is bumpy, the hills are giant, there's viewpoints everywhere. Bravo, Bungie. Bravo. This style continued with the series. One of my favorite levels of the whole series is the Ark from Halo 3. In this mission, you cover ground in one area, go somewhere else, and come back from where you've just been the other way. And that's a notable thing. In one instance, you take out these anti-air raids and come back the way you just came with the Marines that were fighting there, rolling around in a huge tank. Retracing where you've just been is a direct counter to linearity. It feels like your squad is in different areas of this huge section of the Ark. There's multiple battles going on here and there, and you're coming in the thick of it to settle it all. It really feels like one of the biggest missions in the Halo series. The amount of places you go and things you accomplish feels like a lot. Now, Halo isn't only about having this open world style gameplay. The series has always had these moments where it's purposefully linear. Not only is it to serve as a counter to these open world style areas, but the way Bungie and 343 Industries use the art of Halo to not only world build, but to make compelling level design is astounding. I mean, right off the bat, everyone knows the library from Halo 1.
We must collect the index before we can activate the installation.
This level is known throughout the gaming community as one of the most repetitive levels in a first-person shooter. You're going down floor by floor of seemingly the same hallways, fighting the same flood enemies forever. But why does it feel that way? Why does this level, out of not only Halo games, but first-person shooters in general, feel so linear and repetitive? Let me introduce you to a race of aliens called the Forerunners. Without getting into too much detail, they're the race that made all of the metallic blue structures that you see throughout the games. Up until Halo 4, you never meet the Forerunners. You only saw what they left behind before they vanished. It makes them feel like this godly race beyond comprehension, and all of their structures that you, the player, personally witness are linear, symmetrical, structured in a way that invokes prestige, something beyond you. Just to list off some levels that this shows in the game: Reclaimer in Halo 4, when there's that long, bright hallway leading up to the particle beam cannon map. At the end of the Storm in Halo 3, when you fight your way up to Truth, who is about to fire all of the Halo rings. And oh my god, definitely the breaking from Halo 5, when you're fighting the Warden and all of his dudes up to Cortana. This kind of structure funnels the gameplay. Not only are the developers world building by the art that surrounds the player, but they're using that asset as a gameplay mechanic. Hitting two birds with one stone. That is definitely something that needs praise. When a developer is as conscious of the art of the game as they are the gameplay, you know they're doing something right. That they care about the game, and every fight isn't just a copy and paste of enemies for you to shoot at. Like it's something that you just should shrug off at, and it's just something for you to kill your time on. No. By this standard, you're making a game that is saying, hey, we thought of everything when making this game. The small and big picture. Quality is always appreciated. If you like this video, then hit that like button down there. Subscribe for more videos like this. You know it's all good. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.